In the year 2143, as humanity continued its ambitious journey to explore and conquer the corners of the solar system, an unexpected event sent shockwaves across Earth. A mysterious radio signal was detected by the Kepler-2 space observatory, stationed in lunar orbit. The signal was not just random noise, it carried data encoded in a complex mathematical structure. After weeks of decoding, scientists confirmed it was a message from the Galactic Union Council, an organization representing hundreds of advanced civilizations across the cosmos. The message was clear but chilling. The Council would dispatch a delegation to Earth within 6 months to assess humanity's progress. Known as an interstellar peacekeeping authority, the Council had previously intervened and even neutralized civilizations deemed a potential threat. For Earth, being on their radar was not a promising sign, given humanity's long history of wars, conflicts, and reckless exploitation of natural resources. The international community descended into chaos. Emergency summits among world leaders were held non-stop. Some factions argued for investing in defensive weaponry to prepare for a potential invasion, while others advocated for appeasement and diplomacy. Within the halls of the United Nations, heated debates erupted. Amidst the tension, an audacious and unexpected idea emerged from a small group of thinkers. Instead of preparing for war, why not present a different side of humanity, a side that embodied hope, unity, and a desire for peace? After weeks of deliberation, Earth made an unprecedented decision. Neither a military general nor a brilliant scientist, but Ambassador Elena Carter, a renowned philosopher and peace activist, was chosen as humanity's representative. With over 2 decades of experience fostering international peace initiatives, Carter was a symbol of cultural connection and cross-border compassion. This decision was more than a statement, it was a high-stakes gamble. Elena Carter carried no weapons or cutting-edge technology. Instead, she brought with her a curated collection of humanity's cultural achievements: Beethoven's music, Leonardo da Vinci's paintings, Tagore's poetry, and even images of natural wonders like the Himalayas and the Great Barrier Reef. Additionally, she bore a carefully crafted message emphasizing that while humanity had made many mistakes, those very errors had driven its growth, adaptation, and progress. The decision faced significant criticism. Many called it naive, even reckless. But Carter believed that in an infinite universe, strength was not always the answer. We cannot prove our worth through force. If they've come here searching for a reason to destroy us, the only way we can respond is by showing them that we have more to protect than to destroy, she said in a press conference before her departure. As the world gazed skyward, awaiting the arrival of the interstellar delegation, a pressing question loomed: could this decision alter Earth's fate? The 6-month wait was filled with tension but also served as a moment for humanity to reflect on itself, to ask what kind of future it truly desired and how it could demonstrate its worthiness for a place among the stars. Ambassador Elena Carter's mission was not merely a diplomatic undertaking but a turning point for all of humankind. Could her courage sway the members of the Galactic Union Council? Or would it all be a desperate act in the vast emptiness of space? Everything hung by a fragile thread, the thread of hope, connection, and the determination to rise above one's own flaws. The Odyssey, one the most advanced technological marvel Earth had ever produced, glided silently through the dark void of space, heading toward the coordinates designated by the Galactic Union Council. No one aboard the ship could escape the humbling sense of insignificance as the Council's fleet emerged from the faint mist of the galaxy. Massive, otherworldly ships with strange shapes, glowing in a soft blue light, hovered like cosmic fortresses, resembling colossal living beings adrift in the stars. Each ship in the fleet dwarfed the Odyssey one many times over, their technology far surpassing anything Earth scientists could fathom. Their defense systems shimmered like stars, and a single glance was enough to confirm that, if the Council wished, they could obliterate Earth in an instant. Inside the Odyssey 1, tension was palpable. The crew, despite rigorous training, could not hide their fear at the prospect of facing a civilization so overwhelmingly advanced. Ambassador Elena Carter, dressed in simple but dignified attire, stood before the observation window. Her gaze lingered on the Council's fleet not with fear, but with deep contemplation. "We are not here to measure strength," she reminded herself. Beside her was a silver case holding an invaluable treasure, the essence of humanity's cultural achievements, from Beethoven's Ninth Symphony to Van Gogh's paintings, from Newton's mathematical works to Tagore's deeply philosophical poetry. As the Odyssey 1 approached closer, a signal from the Council was transmitted. A cold, neutral voice informed them that the ship was permitted to proceed. There was no welcoming ceremony, no greeting, just a dry directive. Carter understood that, to the Council, humanity was no more than a child civilization, and this journey was not an invitation but an evaluation. The first encounter took place in a space beyond human imagination. One of the Council's motherships revealed a reception area where technology seemed to blend seamlessly with art. The walls glowed gently with ever-shifting patterns, each design seemingly crafted to evoke a sense of infinite intelligence and creativity. Carter entered, feeling as though she had stepped into a cosmic museum, but she refused to let herself be overwhelmed. Across from her stood a group of the Council's representatives. These beings were diverse in appearance, some towering with skin that gleamed like liquid metal, others diminutive yet radiating vibrant light, and still others amorphous, as if they existed only partially in the physical realm. Despite their varied forms, their gazes shared a common trait: cold detachment and skepticism. One of them, a crystalline figure that seemed carved from living glass, stepped forward. "Welcome," it spoke, its voice translated directly into Carter's ears via a sophisticated device. "We are not accustomed to welcoming beings whose value we have yet to determine. Give us a reason to believe your civilization deserves to exist." The words cut through the air like a blade. Carter did not respond immediately. She calmly set down the silver case and opened it, retrieving a compact device, a quantum drive encrypted with the entirety of humanity's legacy. "This," she said, "is our answer. It contains stories, music, scientific and philosophical works, hopes, and fears. Everything that defines who we are. We bring no weapons or ambitions of conquest. We bring only ourselves." A long silence followed. The Council members exchanged glances. It was clear they had not anticipated such a response. One of them finally spoke, its tone heavy with skepticism. "Music and art cannot protect your planet. They are not tools for survival in a harsh universe." Carter offered a faint smile. "True, they are not weapons. But they are proof that we can dream, overcome adversity, and strive for something greater. These things show that we aim not just to survive but to live meaningfully. If the universe is only a place for conflict and survival, then we may not belong. But if it is a place for collaboration and growth, we believe we can contribute." Her words shifted the atmosphere in the room. A few Council members seemed subtly moved, though others maintained their icy composure. The crystalline representative eventually spoke again, "We will deliberate. Be prepared to provide further proof." The meeting ended without a definitive outcome, but Carter knew she had planted a seed. A small one, but one that could begin to change perspectives. Deep down, she understood this journey would not be easy, but it was the only path for humanity to prove its worth. In the Grand Conference Chamber aboard the Galactic Union Council's mothership, the atmosphere grew dense as the formal meeting began. Representatives from the council, each exuding a distinct presence, focused their gazes on Ambassador Elena Carter. This was not a dialogue, it felt more like a trial, where humanity's fate hung in the balance, judged by beings whose existence spanned far beyond the entirety of human civilization. One council member, appearing as a glowing mist, spoke. Its voice resonated through the room, sharp and chilling despite its ethereal tone. Humankind has advanced rapidly, but your history is marred by conflict. Why should we believe that you will not become a threat to galactic peace? Ambassador Carter sat upright, her gaze unwavering. We do not deny our history, she replied, her voice calm yet firm. But it is through our mistakes that we have been shaped. We've learned from our wars, and we understand that peace is not a default state but a choice that must be nurtured through collaboration and trust. Her words failed to dissolve the skepticism in the council's eyes. Another representative, a massive crystalline figure emitting radiant light, spoke next. What you say is theoretical. But theory cannot stand against ambition. The technology you develop could easily be misused for destruction instead of creation. We require proof that you are willing to prioritize the greater good above all else. Proof. The word hung in the air like a challenge. Ambassador Carter knew this was humanity's opportunity to prove its worth, but it also meant taking an action bold enough to shift the council's perspective. She took a deep breath, then stood, her eyes meeting those of every council member. Our proof, she began, will not come in words alone but in action. We propose establishing an intergalactic knowledge exchange system. In this system, Earth will freely share our advancements in biology and environmental sciences to aid planets facing crises. A ripple of murmurs spread through the chamber. The proposal was not only audacious but also unprecedented. The Council, long accustomed to civilizations seeking to protect their self-interests, had not anticipated such a selfless initiative. Carter continued, her voice gaining strength. We have learned to restore ecosystems, heal ravaged lands, and develop sustainable energy technologies. But more importantly, we've learned to do this not only for ourselves but out of responsibility to the planet we call home. If we can do this for Earth, why not for other planets in need? A council member resembling a continuously flowing stream of water interrupted, that sounds noble. But how can we be certain you won't use the system to gather information and exploit it for your own purposes? Carter nodded, having anticipated the question. We are willing to relinquish control of the system to a multi-civilization oversight board, with the Council leading its administration. Earth will only contribute and support, not manage. Silence enveloped the room once more. This proposal not only addressed concerns about human ambition but also demonstrated a willingness to cooperate without seeking power. One council member, who had remained silent until now, spoke. Its voice was deep, carrying the weight of curiosity. If you are truly willing to sacrifice personal gain for the greater good, it suggests you've learned an important lesson. But is that lesson strong enough to change your nature? Carter stood her ground. Our nature is imperfect, but it is that imperfection that drives us to be better. Every mistake is an opportunity to learn, and every opportunity brings us closer to understanding. The Council eventually reached a decision: humanity would be subjected to a trial. Within a month, Earth was tasked with establishing the initial foundations of the knowledge exchange system under the Council's strict supervision. If successful, humanity would be granted official recognition as a member of the intergalactic community. Ambassador Carter left the meeting bearing a heavy burden. She knew this trial wasn't just about technology or resources, it was a test of the spirit of an entire planet. Back aboard the Odyssey 1, she immediately convened her team to begin preparations. In her heart, a flicker of hope ignited. Though the road ahead was fraught with challenges, she believed humanity was ready to prove that they were not merely a species struggling for survival but a community capable of contributing to a greater, grander universe. And this trial, as daunting as it seemed, could be the first step toward making that vision a reality. The atmosphere in the main chamber of the Galactic Union Council had undergone a palpable shift. Where earlier meetings had been steeped in suspicion and tension, a new current, one of curiosity and hope, began to take hold. The youngest member of the council, a slender being with shimmering silver skin named Aranel, suddenly rose from their seat. Aranel's gaze, which had always been cautious when directed at Ambassador Elena Carter, now carried a peculiar glimmer. "Esteemed Council," Aranel began, their clear voice resonating through the chamber, "perhaps we've been too harsh in our judgment of humanity. Their history, though riddled with mistakes, is also proof of their extraordinary capacity to learn and adapt. I propose a different approach. Instead of outright rejection or acceptance, let Earth join our community as an apprentice." This proposal sparked an immediate wave of reactions among the council members. Some nodded quietly in agreement, while many others appeared confused or opposed. A being with a body resembling a slab of obsidian, named Corvith, spoke in a grave tone, "An apprentice? That is a dangerous precedent. By admitting an immature civilization, we risk bearing the consequences of their recklessness." Unfazed, Aranel turned to respond. "Corvith, it is precisely their imperfections that make them worthy of guidance. Humanity has shown they can overcome seemingly insurmountable disasters. Climate change, global pandemics, nuclear conflict, these challenges were not just looming threats but opportunities for them to transform. Why not help them unlock their potential instead of obstructing it?" Ambassador Carter, who had been silently observing, sensed the moment was ripe to bolster the argument. Stepping forward, her voice rang with conviction, "Aranel is right. We are not here seeking unconditional acceptance. We are ready to prove ourselves. If granted the chance to join as apprentices, Earth will adhere to all guidance and contribute everything within our capabilities. This is not just an opportunity for us to learn but for the Council to demonstrate that true strength lies in mentorship, not imposition." Her words left the chamber in silence. After a brief pause, the Council chair, a towering being resembling a living crystal statue, spoke, "This proposal is unprecedented. But how can we gauge humanity's true potential if we do not test them? Let us call for a vote." The vote was conducted immediately. Lights on the representative seats shifted from red to green or yellow, symbolizing approval, opposition, or neutrality. Aranel watched the results display with a mix of hope and apprehension. When the final tally appeared, a wave of emotion rippled through the room. By a narrow margin, Aranel's proposal was approved. The Council agreed to admit Earth into the intergalactic community as an apprentice for a trial period of 10 years. Aranel smiled, their eyes meeting Ambassador Carter's in a moment of shared understanding. But the victory was bittersweet. Corvith's voice cut through the air, heavy with warning, "Remember, this decision is not recognition. It is a test, and failure will come at a high cost." In the days that followed, Earth began preparations for its new role. A team of scientists, artists, and philosophers was assembled to serve as emissaries, embarking on missions to other planets to learn about their cultures, technologies, and ways of life. These individuals were not merely representatives of humanity but carried the hopes of an entire planet. One of the first missions was to the planet Ivarus, renowned for its unparalleled advancements in biological sciences. There, Earth's emissaries witnessed the Ivarians' ability to restore devastated ecosystems within weeks and learn techniques that could be used to revive barren lands back on Earth. Meanwhile, a deeper relationship began to form between Aranal and humanity. Aranal became a bridge, not only helping Earth navigate its early challenges but also defending them against criticism from more conservative council members. However, the journey was far from easy. Some planets within the Union were unwelcoming of humanity's presence, and minor conflicts arose during cultural exchanges. At a symposium on the planet Krynos, a heated debate erupted when a local leader condemned Earth's history of violence. Even so, these challenges became opportunities for humanity to prove itself. In a powerful speech, Ambassador Carter emphasized, "We do not deny our past, but we are doing everything in our power to ensure our future is different. That is why we are here to learn and to heal, not to repeat our mistakes." With each trial, humanity gradually demonstrated that they were not there simply to take but were willing to contribute and share. The early steps of their journey to becoming part of the intergalactic community were fraught with difficulty, but they were also filled with hope and the promise of a harmonious future among the stars. The dazzling light of millions gathered in Millennium Square at New Geneva illuminated the night sky. Cheers erupted, blending with the majestic symphony composed specifically for the event celebrating Ambassador Elena Carter's return. To humanity, she was not merely an exceptional diplomat but a symbol of their aspiration to transcend boundaries and reach for the stars. Standing at the podium, Carter gazed at the sea of faces below. Overwhelmed with emotion, she began to speak, "This journey is not my victory alone, it belongs to all of us. We have proven that differences are not barriers but opportunities to learn. This is just the beginning of a new era, an era where Earth is no longer a solitary planet in the universe." Her words ignited a flame, fueling hope and enthusiasm. Nations, once divided by their interests, now united under a common goal, preparing for Earth's new role in the intergalactic community. The blue planet began to transform, not just technologically but also in mindset. One of the first initiatives was Project Aurora, a communication and knowledge exchange system connecting Earth with other planets. Scientists, artists, and philosophers from around the globe collaborated to create a global platform where humanity could share not just technology but culture, art, and historical narratives. But not everything went smoothly. A faction known as the Humanity Preservation Movement argued that cooperating with the Galactic Union could jeopardize humanity's identity. "They'll consume us," one member declared during a globally broadcasted address. "We'll just become a tiny cog in an enormous system." To address these concerns, Ambassador Carter organized a series of public dialogues, inviting both supporters and critics to participate. During one globally televised forum, Carter explained, "Joining the intergalactic community does not mean abandoning our identity. Instead, we bring our identity to the universe, allowing others to understand and respect us. This is an opportunity to learn, but also to teach." Meanwhile, the Galactic Union underwent significant changes of its own. Lessons from humanity prompted the realization that even older civilizations could learn from younger ones. Aranal, now a steadfast ally of Earth, proposed a bold initiative, establishing an intergalactic research institute where all members experienced or newly joined could contribute and learn. The first planet to collaborate with Earth on this project was Ivarus, where humanity had learned to heal ecosystems. The Ivarians sent experts to Earth to help restore desertified lands, while Earth shared its renewable energy technologies to alleviate energy shortages on Ivarus. Gradually, other Union members began to shift their perspectives. A planet with a rich tradition in performing arts invited human artists to participate in its grandest festival. A civilization renowned for medical technology collaborated with Earth to develop new treatments beneficial to both sides. However, greater challenges loomed ahead. Some hardliners within the Council remained skeptical of humanity's capabilities. They imposed rigorous tests, from managing conflicts of interest within the Union to handling galaxy-wide emergencies. One of the most significant challenges arose on a planet called Corinthia, where a catastrophic environmental disaster threatened to obliterate the entire world. Earth, along with other Union members, was invited to join the relief effort. This was humanity's chance to prove they were not just willing to learn but capable of contributing meaningfully. A team of Earth's top scientists and engineers quickly devised a solution combining Ivarian technology with their own. When the solution succeeded, saving millions of lives and restoring Corinthia's environment, the lingering doubts finally began to dissipate. In the 10th year of Earth's trial period, the Galactic Union convened a special session to evaluate Earth's role. In a historic decision, they declared that Earth was no longer an apprentice but had earned the right to become a full-fledged member of the intergalactic community. On that day, not only Earth but the entire Union realized that cooperation and understanding could transcend any barrier. It was not just humanity's triumph but the beginning of a new era, where the stars were no longer mere destinations but a shared home for all.